I thought that play calling perspective, Michigan offensively, I was not impressed at all with our play calling today. I thought that there were some very conservative, especially on third down play calls at times that I didn't agree with. And so I will hope that gets better. I don't know if that was a based on the nature of the opponent that look, this is a type of team that really can't move the ball consistently on us. So let's not take too many chances and help them out. I mean, that's the only way I can rationalize what they were trying to do offensively.
Hmm.
But overall, like I said, I thought JJ really showed some signs today of getting better. I mean, making some really good throws on the run. You saw some of that flash that, well, you know what, he did something that, Cade couldn't do last year. With his ability to, like the touchdown he threw to Donovan Edwards that he was rolling out to his right,
You
you
mentioned
know,
about how he needs to have better touch on his throws. That was a beautiful touch
oh,
throw. That
perfect,
was
perfect.
beautiful.
On the run, like he didn't even stop. Literally on the run, throwing slightly across his body, perfect touch. He literally hits Donovan Edwards in the chest. You can't do anything better than that. That's the flash. That is the sign that that's different. That's a different type of dynamic that we didn't have last year. Now, one of the things that I would like to see more is he has to get better with his reads when they do go RPO, right? When they do, have certain type of option plays. I want to see him pull the ball more. And I hate to bring it up, but one team that always historically does a really good job of it, not so much with CJ Stroud, but in previous years, Ohio State quarterbacks. They always been really good at knowing, especially if a team knows they're going to run, they're good at holding the defense, and pulling last minute based on what they see. And that's so hard for a defense to guard because you can't just come downhill, right?
Correct.
You have to be assignment sound. So especially in a situation where you're looking to wrap up a football game and the defense is coming, they're selling out. When you have a quarterback like JJ who is mobile, you have to be able to utilize it more in the RPO and just get them or just a regular reaction and just to pull that ball a couple times just so they can't come downhill looking for your running back, right? And you may be surprised. You may gas one or two because they are going. So I would like to see that improve. I think he's showing signs of maturing, but you still do see those signs that he is young. He is still gaining some experience. But what's important, Des, is that he's learning, and he seems to be getting better every week, which is what you want to see.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's funny you mentioned on the zone read and just kind of reading it a little better and the keepers, things of that nature. A guy who played here, but I don't think he's revered by a lot. But I think as far as the zone read goes, Shea Patterson actually did a really good job of his keepers and kind of the ride and decide. He did a really good job of that. Now with everything else, he had a lot of improvements to make. But I think if JJ can and you don't need to do it a lot, right? You
Mm-hmm.
only need a good 3 or 4 in the game where you really pull it and you can gash the defense. Um, I think he'll be fine. As far as some of the play calling offensively, I'm kind of torn because in my mind, what my thought was is if you go out, especially after that the first drive, Iowa, I mean, it was Michigan did whatever they wanted, and to go
Mm-hmm.
up 7-0, right? You kick the ball back, go 3 and out, you get the ball back. Like we kind of talked about it. Like if the first 2 drives is Michigan touchdown, and Iowa doesn't score, like that, I mean, the game is essentially over because now you're putting the ball in Spencer Petras' hand, and that's not what Iowa wants to do. And when Michigan had, I believe it was 3rd and 4 in the red zone, they went speed option to the boundary, and they had the numbers, but JJ didn't quite press it that well. It didn't seem like an aggressive call. It seemed like one of those calls where if we don't get it, it's okay. Like we're fine taking 3, which is fine because the flip side of it is, well, I mean, Iowa scored 14 points, and that was within the last 3-4 drives of the game, so it was over by that time. But you just love to see the killer instinct. You know what I mean? If you go up 21, 28-0 at any point in the game, you're in business. You're rolling. So I, I'm kind of stuck in the middle because, like I said, I wanted Michigan to just go out and dominate. Like you're the better team, and you know would have loved to see them just be a little more aggressive on that 3rd and 4. You know, especially early on because, like I said, you could really put a lot of stress on Iowa's offense.